Welcome to WatchMojoUK, and today we're examining our picks for the 10 times Gary Lineker was an absolute legend.
Before we begin, we publish new content every day, so be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos.
For this list, we'll be looking at the best moments in the former footballer's career that turned him into a national treasure both on and off the pitch. Clean record. A footballer getting booked or sent off is pretty usual, especially in the 80s when folk went all in on tackles and took no prisoners. But Gary Lineker is one of a handful of pros that never experienced this. From his debut in 1978 to his retirement in 1994, he amassed a completely clean record. So much so that Lineker even won the FIFA Fair Play Award in 1990. But it could have been a very different story. When Lineker was 14, playing for a youth team, he argued with the ref over some decisions. His father walked on and took the young Gary off the pitch, saying that if he did that one more time, he wouldn't play again. Seemingly, that stuck with the crisp legend. The adult noises. For viewers tuning in to watch Liverpool take on Wolverhampton Wanderers in the FA Cup third round replay in January 2023, they got an extra surprise of an adult nature.
We've an FA Cup winners only policy in the studio tonight. And I don't know who's making that noise, but so Alan.
As Lineker, Paul Ince and Danny Murphy are talking before kick-off, a rather moany sound suddenly erupts in the studio. Lineker, ever the professional, dealt with it well.
What do you see in this game tonight, Alan? How do you see it going?
After making jokes about it, he continued his job with that very distracting noise playing out sporadically. Lineker later posted on social media that someone had hidden a mobile phone to play the noises. Afterward, YouTuber Daniel Jarvis admitted he was responsible for the practical joke.
Will you stop making those noises, Danny?
No, mate.
The Golden Boot. In a footballing career filled with highlights, one standout moment is Lineker's performance at the 1986 World Cup. Even though England was, controversially, knocked out in the quarter-finals against Argentina, he still finished the tournament as the top scorer with 6 goals, securing himself as the Golden Boot winner. Lineker even nabbed himself a hat-trick against Poland in the group stage. This feat immortalised him in the hearts of England fans. But that's not all. Shortly after his magic at the World Cup, Lineker signed for Barcelona. While there, he wrote his name in the city's folklore when he scored a hat-trick against arch-rivals Real Madrid, securing the win for Barca in El Clasico. Donations for good causes. Away from the beautiful game, Lineker has put his money where his mouth is numerous times to help others. In 2021, Doncaster Bell's captain Sophie Scargill put a Just Giving campaign together. She had ruptured her lateral meniscus, causing severe damage to several ligaments in her knee. To get back to playing quickly, she opted to go private, but needed £5,000 to afford it. With around $2,000 raised, Lineker stepped in to fund the remainder. In 2020, the pandemic was causing havoc, so the footballer presenter stepped up. Lineker donated 2 months' salary, around £140,000, to the British Red Cross as they helped people struggling through those difficult times. Climate change fighter. Climate change is one of the biggest issues we face, and Lineker has been vocal in raising awareness about it. During the British Grand Prix in 2022, Just Stop Oil activists protested on the track of the event. Alongside Formula One icon Lewis Hamilton, Lineker praised the group publicly for their actions. When boxer Anthony Fowler tried to bait him with a conspiracy theory on Twitter, the former striker stuck to his principles and made it clear his thoughts on the environment. Even small gestures to highlight the environmental problem, such as Reading Football Club in 2022 implementing a kit with warming stripes, was applauded by Lineker. The Morgan rivalry. There are not many things that Brits agree on, but many do agree that Piers Morgan is pretty obnoxious. Well, Lineker has taken on the former Good Morning Britain host several times to the delight of social media. He schooled him on the many aspects of football, what a James Bond actor wears in public, and Morgan's weird obsession with the royal family. And whilst it's been a friendly rivalry, we've still enjoyed the back and forth shots the two have taken. But Morgan did something strange during the match of the day drama, more on that later. he publicly backed Lineker's stance and mocked the impartiality rule by the BBC. So that was refreshing. The Qatar monologue.
The smallest nation to have hosted football's greatest competition has faced some big questions.
Leading up to the 2022 World Cup in Qatar, many were concerned with the many scandals, such as the human, LGBTQ+ and women's rights violations, as well as the bribery scandal that clouded the sport's biggest event.
Homosexuality is illegal here. Women's rights and freedom of expression are in the spotlight.
No one expected the BBC to address any of these talking points when the contest started, especially after FIFA patronisingly declared that everyone should focus on the football. Yet Lineker addressed the elephant in the room by opening the coverage with a monologue, mentioning the numerous controversies.
Stick to football, say FIFA. Well, we will, for a couple of minutes at least.
Then pundits Alan Shearer, Alex Scott and Ashley Williams chipped in too. This powerful moment resonated with most of the audience watching at home. Fantastic.
Well, 5 points clear with 9 games to go. This actually might happen, you know.
In 2015, Leicester City was in the form of their lives. They destroyed expectations in battling relegation and were sitting in with a chance to win the Premier League. So Lineker, the Leicester legend, made a public statement. If they won the title, he would present Match of the Day in his undies. Well, the Foxes pulled off the remarkable feat, and Lineker followed through on his declaration. Kind of.
But apart from that, nothing much has really changed. 7 games on the way from the opening day of the Premier League.
On the first Match of the Day of the season in August 2016, he opened the show in just a pair of shorts with a microphone draped around his neck, while Alan Shearer and Ian Wright giggled in the background. He remained in the attire for one match before throwing in the towel and getting changed. Helping refugees.
I just thought, how can we not have a degree of empathy towards these poor souls?
In the past few years, the UK government has become more and more hostile to refugees. And when some figures slated this approach, critics demanded that they should house them then. Well, Lineker did just that. In 2020, Rashid, from the Balochistan region, lived at his house in Surrey for 20 days. In 2021, Lineker opened his front door to another refugee, this time from Turkey.
Lineker has used his profile to draw attention to the efforts to help refugees. Earlier this year, he attended a football training session for unaccompanied refugee children.
After experiencing 18 months of imprisonment in Turkey due to a military coup, the refugee had a horrific time thanks to the Home Office. Later, he went to university in the UK to become a rocket scientist. In 2023, Lineker's son George confirmed that his father was still in touch with both of those he'd helped.
What are you doing?
Britain wouldn't be Britain without refugees.
No, don't.
Taking on the Tories. When Gary Lineker publicly criticised the Conservative government for their plan to tackle migrants crossing over the Channel by comparing their language to 1930s Germany, not many had expected the media storm that followed. On the 9th of March 2023, the BBC, using the impartiality excuse, announced Lineker was stepping back from presenting Match of the Day and demanded he retracted his statement, which Lineker admirably refused. This caused pundits and commentators to also rule out their involvement in solidarity. Many called out the broadcaster for their hypocritical actions and praised Lineker's stance. While Match of the Day still aired, it was a shell of itself. By the 13th, with pressure from everyone, the BBC reversed its decision. But the corporation badly damaged its reputation with its bizarre behaviour.
I've already said what I'm going to say on Twitter. If I say anything more now, it just encourages people to doorstep me.
Do you agree with our picks? Check out this other recent clip from WatchMojoUK and be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.